you guys need to check. Hello, America. This is Call of Duty Goddess. I am just testing this live broadcast because, oh my goodness, I'm having a tough time. I hope you can hear us and see us. And bear with me here while I try to figure out what's going on. Please select a button to answer a question. Select. I have no idea.
That's okay.
Anyway.
Just click on, just click on everything, and then red stuff will come up here and there, and then you unclick it, and then the red stuff goes away.
Hey Matt, why don't you talk about Iran? Emmy, are you there?
I don't want to talk about Iran yet.
Okay.
No, we can just confirm with the people in the chat room if they can hear us and see us, and that if everything's fine, then we can take a deep breath.
Yeah, because this really sucks. Two people unsubscribed. And I still don't see that I'm streaming either, by the way.
You are. It's live. We're good. It's in the top right corner. Bam! Right up there. See it?
Oh, okay. No? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now I see it.
Golden.
Okay. Yay! Alrighty. Okay, so.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Matt. Please.
Yeah, we actually did come here with a purpose. We just needed to decompress for a little bit because we were all about to kill each other. We're yelling at each other, trying to figure this out. So sorry. Sorry for the 15 freaking notifications everybody got that filled up your entire sub box. So yeah, annoying. Mostly Call of Duty Goddess's fault. But,
no, yeah. Actually, it was Matt's fault. It was Veritas 13 Fox's fault for saying let's go live, and then we had no idea. So I am really sorry.
That was such a great idea at the time. It was a great idea at the time.
Yeah, about 3 drinks ago, Matt.
Oh my god. It was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. It sucks.
That's okay. Do we still have that link for that story?
Yeah. Maybe? Yeah. Pentagon.
Yeah, let's check that out and get re-pissed off.
Can we put it in here? Questions, answer questions, spam. I have no idea how to do this, Matt.
Yeah, let's check that out. Get re-pissed off.
Can we put it in here? Questions, answer questions, spam. I have no idea, Matt. I'm here.
You know how to change that. Re-pissed off.
Emily, that's you.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. We'll just go with it. Go ahead, Emmy. You want to?
I don't see a live chat on the YouTube.
Group chat live. I don't know how to do it. And I'm freaking really like worn out.
Well, you would. No, that's okay.
Q&A. How about that?
Oh my lord.
Okay, I'm like worn out.
Yeah, this is the opposite of coffee that I told you to have.
I'm tired, man.
All right, you're the one that pushed live. All right, so just get a hold of yourself. All right, where's that damn link? Give me a link.
I don't know how. I'm trying.
You know how? We've done this before.
Okay.
Up there, freaking share screens.
Bear
right?
With me.
Rain, Cam.
Bear with me.
I think Emily has the freaking maybe.
Somebody's got to do it because I can't do it.
We actually came on here to talk about that Iran money thing, the new amount that just came out, right? And we had some insight into that we wanted to share with you guys just while we were testing this live stream. So that's what we're here to do. That's what we're about to do as soon as we freaking recover ourselves from 2-3 hours of trying to figure this out. So, anyways, I'm just gonna look at my sub box and make sure that we got you guys in there, and then we're gonna go ahead and do that. So, So,
So I just posted the link.
All right. So Iran may have received as much as 33.6 billion in cash gold payments from U.S. Iran may have received all that money just from the Obama administration between 2014 and 2016, according to testimony provided before Congress by an expert on last summer's nuclear agreement with Iran. So, a total of $11.9 billion was ultimately paid to Iran, but the details surrounding these payments remain shrouded in mystery, according to Mark Dubowitz, executive director at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. So, what do you think about that, Matt?
yeah, like, what the hell? Seriously, it's just like, these guys keep lying right to our face nonstop, and we're debating over what? Remember how everybody keeps saying, well, was it for the hostages or was it not for the hostages? And we're sitting there debating and talking, oh, was it 400? Was it 1.7? We're trying to clarify. They're seriously, what was the dollar amount per month that we're sending? It's like 700 million a month.
Oh, it was crazy.
What are we paying for over there? It's super. It's like, oh my.
So I'll tell you.
We got like half of the.
What are we paying for? What are we paying for? We're paying for freaking ISIS over there, okay? CIA. We're paying for the Kurds over there, right? Because we're helping them. So the Kurds and ISIS are fighting against each other. And then here we are funding Iran as well. So we are not only fighting two sides of the war, we're fighting all three sides of the war. We may as well be giving Russia money too. I would not be surprised if we're giving money to Russia and China.
Right. It's freaking. I just can't even. That's why we wanted to come live, and that's why we spent like 2 or 3 hours trying to figure this out, because we are actually going to spend most of the day tomorrow doing this, like, you know. But spur of the moment, we saw this, and we're like, you know what? Let's figure it out right now and share this, because you had some really good insight, and I think it's spot on. We are literally fighting ourselves. We're paying for the people that we're fighting, or that we're supposed to be against, that most of this country doesn't even agree with being against. We're fighting. We're paying for them to come and fight us. That's insane. And now I'm starting to wonder, how long have we been doing this for? How many years? Has it been forever? Has it been since the Civil War?
I think so.
I don't know. It very well could be.
I think so.
I really think, like, I mean, we look into stuff, and the more we look into things and we figure stuff out, we get disturbed, and it's upsetting. And but it very well could be that there has never been a real war.
Well, I've seen that there's proof that there really hasn't been. So I don't know. What do you think about that, Emmy?
Well, my dogs are barking, so I'm not sure if you can hear that. I had muted the microphone for a minute. I don't know. Since we talked about it earlier, and I think Matt asked the question, how many times have we done this? Just quickly looking, I think I found some articles in Afghanistan where we were funding the Taliban, and basically how war is a profit-making machine. So, it's profitable for certain people for us to be at war, even if we're fighting ourselves, it sounds like.
Right. And then, meanwhile, mass graves are being found everywhere out there. I mean, it's horrendous. So it's like we know that our government is taken over by the Muslim Brotherhood, right? So, and then fortunately, we have this awesome anti-Muslim Brotherhood bill in Congress. If it ever gets passed, and if they actually try to rid the Muslim Brotherhood from the halls of Congress and the White House, you know, how many people are actually going to be left in DC if you clear out the Muslim Brotherhood? We may be able to start fresh and new, but who really thinks that that's ever going to freaking happen? Not me, you know?
But sounds like we'd have to have a whole new election and paying people to come in and actually sign up to be our representatives with how many there are.
Well, I think I'd just walk right through them doors and represent my damn self. You know what I mean?
It might not be a bad idea. Wow. I think you'd probably do a better job. You could probably actually blindfold yourself and push a button, yes or no, and get it better right more than they do. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, or bring a little chimpanzee and throw it in the office and let them rack it. I think that would work out better because they weren't capable of making bills and turning them into laws that would have us all getting locked up and shit. So
Why were you thinking Valerie Jarrett had something to do with this money that we're obviously paying every month? I really, I don't even know how to figure it out, but I would really love to know how much per individual in the U.S. that actually costs to send $700 million a month over to Iran, right? I mean, it's probably like it's probably like $40-something a month out of your pocket and mine. But let's get back to the Valerie Jarrett thing.
but I mean, well,
Oh
if
my
you look at
God.
Valerie Jarrett, look at Valerie Jarrett. She's Iranian. I mean, her parents were actually lived in America. They were communists, moved over to Iran. Valerie Jarrett was born there. I mean, where do you think her allegiances are? And especially when you hear, it's my belief that Obama is nothing but a crackhead. And I could be wrong. Maybe he's a heroin addict. Pick one. But that Valerie Jarrett's actually running the country, you know, with her Iranian roots. And then you have not only Valerie Jarrett running the country, who's an Iranian, but you have John Kerry, whose son-in-law is high up in the Iranian government.
I didn't know
Right?
that.
What? When were you planning on
Yes.
telling me that?
Oh, you guys didn't know that? Let me
No,
find the
I
link.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
John
you're keeping
Kerry's.
secrets.
I mean, you were so good at finding stuff. Huh? Maybe you could pop out a link. I'll try to find one too. But
How?
yeah, John Kerry's, I
How?
believe it's his son-in-law.
Well, I'm interested in the timeline because it says from 2014 to 2016, these payments have been made. So when exactly did they start uh, working on this treaty?
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh, we're about to start flowing into other topics. We're going to keep going. That's fine. It's okay. So, 2014, I wonder what time of year that was. Now I need to, we're all going to be Googling crap. Here we go.
So what was the question again, Emmy? I'm sorry. I missed that.
I'm just wondering about the timeline for the payments. So the suggestion is that these payments were helping to grease the wheel for this treaty that none of us wanted. So when did those negotiations for that treaty begin? And I wonder what was going on when they decided they needed to start paying Iran $700 million a month.
Okay. Now, here's what I've figured out so far. The Iranian nuclear talks started as far back, that was in actually that was in congressional testimony, that the Iranian talks started as far back as 2011.
Okay.
And that's where I find the connection with, here we go, Commander, SEAL Team 4 Commander Job Price. In another direction, here we go. SEAL Team 4 Commander Job Price's death. Now, it could have been two things. It could have been a green on blue crime because, you know, the SEAL teams were training the Afghanis to fight. Could have been that. Or it could have been Commander Job Price was on a flight with Hillary Clinton going to meet Mahmoud Ahmadinejad to do these talks. And that we can continue on Sunday's live show. Because
that's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Because we could open up a whole can on that crap.
Well, yeah, and that was what month was that? Was that September 2011?
Well,
see, that's what I need.
What, the plane crash, or exactly when? The plane crash was actually after Benghazi, so it was December 24th, 2012, when the State Department said that Job Price committed suicide. Why would that man commit suicide? He was in his mid-40s. He had a beautiful wife, daughter, young daughter, not a baby, but, you know, preteen, lived in Virginia, you know, had a great life, and would never commit suicide. So, you know, I'm thinking more towards the Iranian nuclear talks. And of course, I mean, I don't know if anyone else has heard this, but I've heard a lot of the sources of these Hillary Clinton email leaks were Valerie Jarrett. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Yeah. You know what, I want to pull up that article. I have the article for that plane crash. It's so hard to like start to talk about a topic and then to like not go at it. But oh yeah, no. So once you No, I had not heard about the email. Sorry.
Okay. Well, let's just. I don't want to go too far off subject. Go ahead, Emmy.
Well, you know, we were talking about the original money about the Iran deal, right? And then when we originally saw, we saw it today when people started reporting on it. This huge dollar amount, supposed to be 1.7. Now we're at 33.6, which could be who knows what dollar amount, and who knows for how many years. I'm guessing that this money could have been for a long time. I mean, it was part of our history to actually pay. What was it called again? The Barbary tax? Is that what it was?
It was the jizya tax to the Barbary pirates. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I got two words out of that, but I was half wrong twice over.
Yes.
So yeah,
we had a history of that, didn't we? And we paid that for a while, and it got so bad because they kept the Barbary pirates. What they would do was they would attack our ships off of the Barbary coast and take our captains and the crew and make them as slaves. And what we would do is we agreed to pay them a jizya tax because that we were then dhimmis. We were put into dimnitude. We were their slaves. And we paid that jizya tax for a couple of years. And one president took over. Which one was it, Matt? Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was. I think it was Thomas Jefferson or Jackson. I know it's a widespread there, but one of the two decided enough's enough. Hell no, we're not paying you anymore. Sorry. Wrote him a letter, said no, and pretty much, I mean, how much more can they threaten? I mean, at that time you had time and distance. You didn't have enough technology to get you between each other anyways. So, but they had, you know, I mean, there was a lot of trade going on. But I mean, what's the difference between how much you're paying and what you're going to lose by not paying it? You know, I mean. Anyways,
right.
Plus it's like bribery and screw them. But
right.
Gosh, I forgot what I was going to say about that money. Oh, and you know what? And it's like having a Muslim the whole thing with Obama maybe being Muslim or these like that topic is something it didn't matter to me. I was like, okay, he's gonna eventually be gone anyways. But when you start finding out about dollar amounts like this that are being, I don't know, like how long or how much, but it seems like it's becoming more and more relevant and more possible that this dude is most likely 100% a freaking Muslim. Like, you can't even, try and justify your way out of it anymore. I mean, if I was Muslim and Iran was asking me for money, I'd be like, look, let's both screw this whole country out of every dime they have. I'm gonna keep shuffling it to you. You keep helping me hide it, okay?
Right.
I mean, why not? Where's his elite? This is the whole reason why we're not supposed to have a president that wasn't born here. This exact reason. We do it one time. I hope it's just once, and look what happens.
Right.
Not that we haven't been screwed by every other president, but I mean, this one's like.
Speaking of that, though, whose job exactly is it? Because I've heard different things. Whose job is it to freaking make sure that a president was actually born here, his birth certificate's on the up and up, to do a background check on people running for president? Whose job is that? Is it Congress's or the CIA or the NSA?
Well, the CIA didn't exist forever, you know that, and the NSA didn't, so it can't be them. Can't be the FBI because they were just created. I don't know. I mean, we have to have one to get a driver's license and to get anything in this country. So I think that probably our forefathers were like, do we really have to write that shit down for you?
Right.
It's like, is wipe your ass second on the list after that?
Right.
Yeah, who is in charge of that? Who verifies these things?
That's a good question.
Well, when we get our restart, and hopefully if all these dipshits are gone, that should be step one. First, what are we gonna do first? Oh, let's write a rule about that. But back to that money that was sent, $33.6 billion. Okay, so go ahead. Did you want to say something?
And that was within 2 years, from 2014 to 2016. That's all I wanted to say.
Right, yeah, thank you. That's a crap load of money. It's supposed to be in gold and in dollars, right? Well, both gold is heavy as hell, and dollars. When what was the fake video that they had from the last cash drop?
Yeah, in the mint where they had
right. And right there on the freaking pallet, it says this pallet represents basically 1.6 million, right?
Right.
Right. I just wanted to clarify, make sure. So so we did the math on this, and it was, if you have 33.6 billion, and you just take that out into millions, it's 33,600,000, right? 33. How you say that? I don't know. I've never. Whatever. Am I saying that right? 33 million, or no, 33,600 million. Yes.
Wow.
No.
How many zeros is that?
It's a shit ton. Just write in shit ton right after you do 33.6 and shit ton, and the calculator should figure it out. I might have a different calculator than you, though.
Yeah, I think you do.
Mine speaks German and Irish.
Okay.
Right, yeah, that's a lot.
Could y'all have ever imagined that the president of our country is, giving another country just shit ton of dollars and gold in secret without anybody, without Congress knowing, without any of us knowing? I mean, it's just out and out criminal activity.
Yeah, and they really don't care. They don't seem to care. Except for that's why the big gun grab's going on, because maybe those Iranian payments are just the tip of the iceberg, and that's pretty much where I'm going with this, is the tip of the iceberg thing, because there is a serious gun grab thingy on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically getting punked at school every single day, and then we like decide to stand up for ourselves, and they're like, "You're not gonna stand up for yourself. Just sit down, punk." It's
Right.
crazy. So, like back to this freaking dollar amount thing. I hope we're doing the freaking math right. I think we're doing it the right way. But like, okay, so if we die, I mean, anyways, if we freaking take the, are you dying?
I don't have shit ton on my calculator, so don't ask me to calculate.
Okay, all right. So we're taking that dollar amount and we're dividing it by 1.6 million.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the number that we get?
I don't know because, like I said, I don't have shit ton on my calculator, but I'll pull it up. Okay.
Yeah, just try. Just try.
What am I typing in again?
Amy, you're smarter than both of us.
No, I'm not at this point.
Oh my
I
god.
wonder what the logistics are in transporting that and storing all that.
I think it's
Yeah.
money transfer. I do, but it said gold though, didn't it?
No, it's originally they thought they had found these suspicious wire transfers, but now they're saying cash and gold.
Yeah, I don't know that we even have any gold. I
That
don't even
is
know that we have
major.
any.
That is
That's-
major logistics.
Right. Yeah. It's you basically have that we're transporting hundreds and hundreds. Okay, 1.6 million. 1.6 at just $400 million is 150 pallets of money, and that was the at 400 million the last payment that we gave them. So imagine 700 million a month for nonstop for years.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about 300 and something, like 400 and something pallets of money a month. So if you're flying that crap over there, because if you're flying that crap over there, how? You'd have to have a damn 15, 20 freaking C5s, or you'd have to have some ship that's like looks like it's hauling oil or some crap. How are they getting the money? And even gold would be heavy as hell.
Right, and I'm wondering, is this ever going to get brought up? What's their excuse going to be for this? Before it was paying, what was it, some kind of interest payment on banks or something like that for some money we owed them? I didn't know we owed them money. What the hell do we owe them money for? Does anybody know?
We're supposedly have taken it in 1979, which is horse crap. I just have to find the article because I just told you yesterday or the day before that I have the article, and it's not that at all. And what they're representing to us or everyone, it's not even real anyways. But so what they're saying, 1979 and the hostage crisis, and then we put this economic. It was like something about terrorism. So we took this money from them. We confiscated this money. But we're gonna pay you interest while we confiscated your freaking your terrorism money. So yeah, whatever dollar amount go ahead.
I think we were selling military equipment to them.
That's right. Yes, we were. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So
paid
they
for the
gave us the
military
money.
equipment. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Amy.
But then we didn't pay for it because of the whole what was going on then. With hostage crisis in Iran.
I can't imagine them taking hostages and risk not getting their military equipment, but yeah. Whatever it was. Oh, I think I think we had a freaking presidential change, and something happened, and then we just decided, we weren't going to pay them, or weren't going to give them their part. No, I'm sorry. The 1979 revolution happened. They paid for the military equipment, and then they had a revolution, right? Oh, that's a nice coincidence, right?
Yeah. Where was George Soros back then?
Yeah. And then the articles I've read is that they pay money, and then all of a sudden revolution, and then we're like, well, I guess we don't have to pay it back then because you're not even the same government anymore.
Right. So let's put all this into perspective. We are funding ISIS. We are funding the Kurds. we are also funding Iran. So we are funding three sides of this war that is slaughtering and a genocide in the Middle East. Okay, not only are we doing that, at the very same time, we are bringing in hundreds of thousands of Syrian refugees. We are not only giving them money, cash, we're giving them cash as soon as they set foot on this land. We are giving them food. We are housing them with our money, our sweat off of our brow, and then they are able to join the military here from day one. Okay, so
Right. Yeah.
what is happening? What's going to happen with this is we have to face this, and America has to stop hating themselves, and America has to stand up and we have to stop letting these people bash us, because we fund just about every freaking nation on the planet. We're giving money. How many nations are we giving money to? Over 120, I believe. And we give it to them on a regular basis. Think about it, folks. When you go to the grocery store and you buy a loaf of bread, either they raise your taxes, and if they don't raise your taxes, it's going to come out in inflation. You're going to get 2 or 3 slices less of a loaf of bread. Pretty soon it'll be half a loaf of bread and it'll be costing double. That's what's happened. That's why we have inflation, and that's why it hits America, and they say, "Oh, America, they're just awful, awful." Dude, we are the slaves of the globe. We are slaves. Slaves. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, I want to touch on something you said. So you said we're funding ISIS and we're helping the Kurds.
Uh-huh.
And isn't that different branches of our government or agencies?
I think so. I think I think it's between the Pentagon is with the Kurds, and then you have
Right.
the CIA with ISIS. That's my opinion.
So
Right.
do we have military people over there on both sides that are caught in the crossfire?
We have spec ops. We had, as of right before the Interlink incident, and I think after that as well, we had spec ops working with the Kurds. They weren't supposed to be fighting, but they were helping them with the training and such. And if I'm not mistaken, we had other military that was working with the so-called Free Syrian Army, which is nothing but al-Nusra. Al-Nusra and ISIS are interchangeable. So all it is just a play on words. So when you look at that map, that war map that I show, and the green area you think is ours, is, supposed to be playing for us. Well, it's not. It's the Free Syrian Army. It's ISIS. They had to go in there this past time. I think it was last week when Turkey and Obama said, "Oh, we're going to get ISIS this time." Well, they didn't. ISIS was getting their ass kicked by the Kurds. And
Right. Well, you know what? Can I jump in?
please.
Check this out. Okay. So, and you're gonna love this one because you take a lot of flack for this very topic. Okay. And this story, I didn't tell you this yet, is that our number one country that we're supposed to give money to is Israel. We were supposed to have been giving them $200 million a year, and then all of a sudden Netanyahu says he wants $500 million this next year, and then we approve it, and so that's the number one country allegedly that we give money to. So with this new dollar amount coming out that we're giving to Iran, we're giving Iran more than 1,000% more than we're giving to Israel. So what's that mean? Actually, we could talk about that. And yeah, Turkey is killing the Kurds, not ISIS.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And so, it's yeah. We could talk about the money first, but that's killing me right there. is there's something going on here that's so big that nobody knows about. There's a genocide, and the people that we were supporting, and I don't believe we have troops there anymore. We have some difference of opinion here on that, but I think we pulled our guys out because we knew what was about to happen to the Kurds.
We
Well-
do have some volunteers there.
Yes,
They-
good point, Emmy.
Yeah, they unfortunately did not get the same memo and helicopter ride out.
And it's not just Americans over there. There's Israelis over there. There are people from every country that volunteered to go in and fight with the Kurds, from the UK to Canada, many of the Western nations, Australia. All those people went over there to fight because they found out what was actually happening over there to the Kurds. And yeah, that's a shame.
Well, now,
Yeah.
so the Iranian Revolutionary Guard is on Assad's side, right?
Yes.
And so the concern is these cash payments are going to support the Revolutionary Guard.
Yes.
Right. I guess we should be specific about what we're talking about when we say we're funding every side. Well, what's that mean, right?
Okay, you have Iran is Hamas, okay? Hamas. And then you have, I'm pretty sure it's Hamas, almost positive. And then you have ISIS is, I believe, more of a Wahhabist Saudi Arabian type. And then you have,
Hamas is more in Lebanon, right?
is it more Lebanon?
I think so. I'm
I'm
pretty sure. That's the one group I've never focused on that much. But
No,
anyways,
no,
go ahead.
it's Hezbollah. I'm sorry. Hezbollah is Iran. Yeah. It's Hezbollah. So you have Hezbollah, which is Iran, and there's not much difference between Hezbollah and ISIS when you look at it from a Western perspective. Both of them want to wipe out Christians and Jews. That's just plain and simple, you know? It's just who
Right.
they want to keep in power. And see, then there's another thing, Matt, is the Golan Heights. And you know about that, what's going on there with the oil.
How are you? Yeah. How are you tying that in though?
Oh, I think it's a big deal. I think
Well, yeah, it is.
I think the Golan Heights, the huge oil discovery, I think that may be why we're funding all sides of this war. I don't know exactly how it goes into the picture, but the Golan Heights is one of the largest oil discoveries, I believe, to date, if I'm not mistaken. Now, it's caught under a bunch of shale, and they have to do some testing to find out how expensive it will be to extract it. But from what I can see, where the Golan Heights is, it's right there on the border of Syria. So that would be why our interest, as well as Israel's interest, would be to possibly split up Syria into 3 different countries, or at least 3 different countries. See, we could make the Kurds happy by giving up, the Kurds a little area in Syria, but that would really piss Erdogan and Turkey off. So, you know what I mean? The Golan Heights is a huge oil discovery, and I believe it goes further up into Syria than what they're letting on to be.
You know what? You had a feeling about something today. Did you want to say something, Emily? I mean, no. Okay.
Oh, me or
Oh
Tracy?
yeah, I thought you were gonna say something.
No.
Okay, so. Oh my god, I lost my thought. Okay, I got it. Here we go. Is that I'm wondering, you had a bad feeling today, Call of Duty. You had a bad feeling today that something was going on, and then all of a sudden we hear this story about this money. What does this? Our ally is supposed to be Israel. That's who we've been funding, regardless of whether people like it or not. It is what it is. Have they known about this other money, about about Iran getting 1,000 times more than them And what's that mean right now? What's going on right now over there?
Okay. Is
I'll
that
tell
a
you this.
question for me, or are
Um,
you gonna?
I'm just gonna say what I would be thinking if I was Israel. I'd be
Okay.
thinking, uh, there's got to be some shifts in allegiances immediately, like right now, quick. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that it's pretty deep. I think that we have been taken over by the Muslim Brotherhood, and every action that we have taken is showing as such. I believe that we have armed Iran with a nuclear weapon and given them a shitload of cash so they can fight with Turkey to vie for the caliph. Because during a caliphate, and that is the global takeover of the world through the Muslim caliphate, okay, through Hijra, which is traveling and overtaking a land through population increase, and that is through jihad. Jihad is fighting. Jihad is also subversive, which is what the Muslim Brotherhood has done in our government. So you have those three things coming into play. Now, the only thing, and here's another thing that many people may not like, but it's the God's honest truth. The only thing is this stream still online? Looks
Yeah,
like
we're
it's
good.
okay. The only thing that is has stopped the caliphate is, well, not the only thing, but one of the big things that has stopped the Muslim world from totally taking over the Western world is the Jewish state of Israel. Why is that? Because when the Jewish state of Israel was put there in that hotbed of the Middle East, it solidified basically, and it helped out within the Sykes-Picot. The Sykes-Picot Agreement broke up the Middle East after World War I, which disrupted the caliphate because you had the full Ottoman Empire, you had one caliph. They were ready to take over the globe. And the Muslims have three ways of doing it, and I just told you, through Hijra, which is traveling and overtaking a country through population. You have it through the jihad, and then you have the subversive type. So without the Jewish state of Israel, it's my belief that I would be wearing a burqa right now. That's and really that's the God's honest truth, in my opinion. And hey, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I really don't. When you look at Islam and what it was built to do, it is built to take over the globe, period. So,
Well, yeah, it would make sense that that's where we seem to be giving all of our money to, by our Muslim president. And
what?
I think we like that topic right there. Do you want to cover it more in a few, like on Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to start a live stream on Sunday and we'll be posting it. And this is just a test because I am really clueless as to how to do this. So, yeah, well,
Right. And I'm pretty sure, like, well, we have a lot of other things to talk about, and we have and then just contemplating how this money is going to affect the relationships over there. It's mind-boggling. It throws so much of a wrench into everything that we knew before in so many ways. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it, and I can't. So we're going to have to see what happens. But it is interesting. There's a lot of actual moves today. We had was it Kerry? Yeah, Kerry was meeting with the Russians, and they reached no agreement. They said they were actually nowhere near an agreement. They were like polar opposites on what they wanted, and so no agreement on anything. Kerry leaves, and then today, I believe it was and I hope I'm not speaking on this one, the UN decided that they were going to back Turkey. They're going to support Turkey in its fight against ISIS, which just so happens to be the only fight that they're doing is fighting Turkey, or fighting the Kurds, I apologize, that we were supporting. Like, everything is flipped. like very quickly. Yeah, I can't even. Yeah. Anyways, so
Well, I think that's enough because I don't think we're streaming anymore. It looks to me like we're not. Can anybody tell if we're streaming?
we're live.
It says offline to me.
Okay, it's lying to you.
What? Man, this really sucks.
Yeah, so
Man.
I mean, it's not late on the West Coast, but it's late for you guys, and we were just doing this as a little test run, anyways, to figure out how to actually start the live stream. So, we have a ton of stuff to share, and then everything that has happened today, it needs to be looked at.
Yeah, so do you know more about either of you know about this agreement thing or whatever, or the talks that were happening today?
It looks like, I just did a quick search. It looks like they reached a ceasefire agreement in Syria. It says Kerry and Russia, U.S. and Russia, announced a deal on Syrian ceasefire.
See, that must have been when Kerry was walking out to his plane to get on it, because I seriously, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, because that was at like 2 o'clock this afternoon. It was like peace talks failed, and pretty much bleak as hell. And then now all of a sudden we'll have to look into that, I guess.
When was that from, Emmy? Does it have a time on it or anything?
I think it was updated at 8:28 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh,
probably while we were streaming.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It was probably right after the story came out about the money, and then John Kerry got off the plane. They were probably going down to actually take off and pull up, so the plane started going off the tarmac, and then Kerry's like, hit the brakes, turn around.
Right. Oh, shit, they're going to find out about all the money.
Yeah, we've thought about your deal, and you know what? In hindsight, it sounds pretty good.
Right, and think about this money, right? John Kerry's son-in-law is freaking high up in the Iranian government, right?
Yeah, who is he? Were we supposed to look at that?
I think I can't look up anything because it says I'm out of memory, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I've got to reboot and clean up shit before I can do this again. But yeah, so what he's basically doing is stealing money from us and probably giving it to his son. So the Kerrys are going to buy their own little mini island or nation or something, or you know what I mean? He's setting himself up. Sounds like.
Well, is his son single? Because a lot of single women out there, and that amount of money. I mean, you have to wear a burqa, okay? If he's gay, I might go over there because that's a lot of money.
No, he's married to John Kerry's daughter. Dude.
He's married to his own sister?
No. It's John Kerry's son-in-law. So the guy is married to John Kerry's daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet you there's all kinds of our politicians got family over there. They probably marry across borders like kings and queens did 1,000 years ago.
Yeah,
or however they do now.
Valerie Jarrett. Now, I don't know. Does anybody know if Valerie Jarrett's family is still in Iran, or is it in America? Or are they in America?
No, I read you that article the other day. They're in Chicago. They freaking. Oh my gosh. Oh god. Oh Lord.
Oh well, I'm in shock. Chicago.
Okay. Well, they were. They were. She had a different name. That's not even her real name. Remember that article?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? And we talked about that on Sunday too, because I have to have the article up so I can read it, so I can give. Yeah, because that's freaking crazy. I haven't even heard that on the news, but. Yeah. It's tied into so much crap that I just want to totally just throw out there, and hopefully nobody knocks on my door. It's so crazy.
And Huma Abedin, remember her?
Yeah, Yeah, well, actually, in the Valerie Jarrett thing and her parents, that goes right into what we wanted to cover on Sunday, anyways, because it gets right into the attack on the African American person here in the United States.
Right.
Yeah, that was right into how her parents were giving speeches to the Ku Klux Klan about Planned Parenthood.
Oh yeah. Oh God, that's freaky. And then you have
Uh-huh.
yeah, and then in 2010, Obama started that BRAIN initiative, and give them a little bit of background on Valerie Jarrett's parents, Matt.
Oh, okay, we're doing this now. I don't have the
Do you
article up.
remember?
Yeah, yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, her father was he was a biochemist, I think, and the mother was a doctor in for like whatever the podiatry. Is that for children?
Uh,
I think
Speed, huh? Oh,
I think
Pediatrics.
podiatry, pediatrics. That's it. Yeah.
Podiatry.
So,
Feet.
oh, I don't know. Is that feet?
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, I'm one of those guys. And yeah, and so they started. I believe they. I think it was the mother and the father started USAID, which is now the people that are dropping supplies onto ISIS.
Like heroin, right?
Yeah, moving the yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah, it's the UN that's doing the heroin with the cargo planes and stuff. But it's the same planes, whether it's coming from USAID or whatever. And oh my gosh. And then yeah, and so I think it was the father that started the Planned Parenthood, and it was the mother that started USAID. Oh, and then oh my gosh, and then so the company that the actual nonprofit that they started, Obama sat as a board director before he was a senator on the board of directors for that nonprofit. When he was a remember how he was a community organizer?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's when he was organizing the community in Chicago so perfectly to set up as many Planned Parenthoods as possible to kill as many black babies as possible.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Wow.
Right. Yeah, but we'll pull that article up so we can actually read it to make sure that we're accurate 100%. Because then we can share what the organization's name was, what the nonprofits were. I know it was USAID and Planned Parenthood were the two that Valerie Jarrett's family started, and those are huge. I mean, I think some of you out there may have heard of Planned Parenthood, and then and then also USAID. That was supposed to be funny, but whatever. Yeah, yeah.
So, Emmy, do you have anything to add? What was that you were saying about? Didn't you mention something about Saudi Arabia earlier or something?
I was just curious if you or Matt, because you have a much better background than I do in this, what these payments to Iran mean about our relationship with Saudi Arabia. Because, am I right in saying one is Sunni and one is Shia?
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Oh my, that's a really good point, Emmy. Um, because what that's going to do, because Saudi Arabia is supposed to be our partner basically in crime because our dollar is hooked to them with the petrodollar. So that's see, and we're in NATO with them. And it's my belief that ISIS started out there in Saudi Arabia because they're like a Wahhabist or an offshoot of a Wahhabist type of Islamic group, terrorist organization. So yeah, that's a big deal because oh my gosh, what would that do? That would really get the and oh wait a minute, Emmy. Now that you say that, uh, Saudi Arabia is bombing the crap out of Yemen right now, aren't they? In Benghazi?
Mm-hmm. I
Yes,
think
they are.
so.
In fact, just last week, Iran issued a warning to Saudi Arabia saying, stop bombing them.
Hmm.
Stop bombing them. And and that's really, I mean, I can't stress this enough, is that, I mean, biblically, it's my opinion that, I mean, what's going to happen is that with Islam, there can only be one leader, and you have the Ottoman Empire, which is Turkey, you have Persia, which is Iran, and then you have Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia is the weakest of the three. It's my belief Iran will take Saudi Arabia out. Then that'll leave the Iran and Turkey to battle it out. So I don't. That's pretty scary. That's a really good point, though, Emmy. I didn't even think of that. Wow. Because that would get, because ISIS is mainly Sunni, and then I mean Shia, yeah, Sunni, and then you've got Hezbollah, which is Shia. So they do come together. Sunni and Shia isn't as divided as most people think, because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they have more in common with each other than everybody else on the planet. So they will team up when need be, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, wow. That really that opened up a whole can of worms there. I mean, with us giving money to Iran as well.
You know, there's a lot of things that are going on over there that are so hidden. They're so hidden. Like, I mean, you literally right now what's going on with the Kurds in Syria. Like, and you know, people might be like, "Oh, I don't really care what's going on in this area or that area. I don't even really know who you're talking about." But it's important to figure these things out and learn. The reason why we're figuring it out is because we want to know. That's where it's all starting at, you know, and it's going to bounce out of there and go everywhere. So I like to know what's going on and try and stay ahead of the curve a little bit. But you know, and I just heard reports yesterday about the United States bombing in northern Yemen.
Right, right, and Saudi
You know?
Arabia is bombing with us there.
Right. Yeah.
And Iran issued a threat to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, exactly.
But the only area that we're really us or Saudi Arabia is really focusing on is the middle of the country, the northernmost part of Yemen that has the oil, because all of Yemen doesn't have the oil. Only it's like the center, and you could just kind of do like an arch around there, and it's like a mountainous region. That's where the oil is, and that's where we seem to be focused on. Is, you know, that's where we're fighting our war at, or Saudi's war. But it's just, oh god, it's so sickening, and these psychopaths are freaking. We're funding everyone. This is our big, huge war. I just can't even, like, you know, all the figuring stuff out that we try and do, like, right? It's almost like just by this money, it's all null and void. We have to, like, scrap everything that we thought. Everything that we thought, we have to scrap it and go, wait a minute. We're, like, fighting ourselves. We're
it
well,
makes
we're sitting over here.
If all the wars were like that, you know?
Right. I think that we could probably show that they were.
Yes.
And why we're sitting over here struggling, like, you know, what our all of our medical care is going up, and our retirements are going away, and all this crap, and nobody's gotten a raise for a million years, and
that's because we're paying everybody on the planet.
Right. Yeah. That money could have been put back into this economy. Just, I mean, 1-2 months of that. I mean, how much? Back when Bush was doing those economics stimulus packages, when he was sending out $600? Remember that? $600 to like every person. How much did that cost? It was like, I don't think it was that much money, considering that so many people benefited, right?
Right.
And he was getting chewed out for it. Oh my gosh, can you imagine how you could put that into politics right now and be like, wait a minute, so let me get this straight. All you people were fighting the stimulus package because it was just adding more debt, but how much are we paying Iran a month?
Right.
Unbelievable. And it's unbelievable to me that there's not more of an outcry about this. I don't get it. I mean, they're sitting there saying they don't have funding to combat the Zika virus, which is an entirely different topic, and I don't even understand why the virus that's been around since the 40s is now causing these issues. But they don't have money to do that. They don't have money for the VA. The health care, Obama's health care is failing. Now they want a public option. I don't get why we aren't, I don't want to say up in arms because that's not what I mean, but why aren't we shouting for a change? Why are we allowing this to happen?
Right. I mean, I went to quite a few tea parties, and a lot of my friends freaking ended up being stalked by the IRS, the FBI, and shit. Heck, I think I was stalked because, I mean, right after I went to DC a few times, my daughter comes home with a new friend, and her new friend's dad has been in the CIA for years. It's like, wow, check this out. You know what I mean? Kind of makes you wonder. May not have been anything, but, it's kind of like, oh, shit, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It just seems like, well, I think a lot of people are still being fooled by stories. Like even the Zika virus thing, I don't know enough about it, but I can tell you what, if I look at it by like what fears they're trying to spread, who they're targeting. Well, when I just look at me, do I care about the Zika virus? No, I don't care about the Zika virus. I'm 40. I'm not having any kids anytime soon or ever, right? And do I care if it affects other people? Yeah, I do, but at the same time, it just seems so convenient that this pops up right now during an election when the only people that really care about the Zika virus are millennials, right? And so
right.
the millennials are like, oh, I want to have a whole bunch of babies. I want to have kids, and right? And so the millennials are like, and then what do they see? They see the Republicans not wanting to fund it or some crap like that, and even though, and I don't give a shit about either party, they're all obviously corrupt at this point. We have
So,
nobody on our side, but it's an obvious. The motivation behind it is not to protect anybody; it's to win more votes.
And I'm reminded, Call of Duty, you remember that video that you shared about our changing demographics?
yes,
And
I think. What do you mean?
what do you call it? Is it the replacement rate, or so basically the number of children, average number of children?
Yeah, that's like with the Hijra. That ties in with the Islamic Hijra because, I mean, if you think about it, since basically the 50s, possibly earlier, I mean, the Western world has been kind of indoctrinated to have 2.3 children, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
well, in the other nations, the third world nations, they haven't been indoctrinated like that. In particular, the Muslim nations, they encourage to have more children. So what does that do when you have two parents that only have one child? The population growth is going to be split in half over a 20 to 30-year period. And you have each Muslim family having perhaps 5 to 8 children. What's that going to do? What's that going to do in 50 years? It's frightening.
Right. Yeah. They've been having college students, right, overpopulation. Like every year, freshman, sophomore, all these classes you take. Okay, the topic today is overpopulation. They make them study the harmful effects to our planet and to and they point out like India. Look at how what overpopulation is doing there. People are just defecating in the streets, and it's just But the actual reality of it is that you have to view it by culture or race, right? Because
Absolutely.
some cultures are increasing and others are decreasing. But just so happens that they're teaching that there's overpopulation to the cultures that are decreasing the fastest.
Right.
It's
Right.
like, yeah.
If I was a young person who was looking now, all this stuff in the news about the Zika would probably have me terrified. So to me, it's just another means of discouraging certain people, the people who would be paying attention and be concerned, from having children.
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm, looking at it, maybe I'm just coming up with something off the wall, but that's what I've been thinking about.
Right.
No, that's perfect because it goes right into what we've been saying about every single psyop that they do. They're never single purpose. They have multiple, multiple motives. They get multiple payoffs for their lies. You
Absolutely.
know, votes and depopulation.
And what is I mean, as a whole, just everything that we have just talked about, what it's doing is giving Sharia law the break. It's giving Sharia everything. We're giving them cash, hand over fist. These
Yeah.
Gulf nations that are so all rich, I mean, they have so much more than we do. Of course, the people are probably, well, that Saudi Arabia video that I shared, which I found was freaking amazing. It's the first time I've ever seen the true innards of Saudi Arabia. Um, the people live like paupers, but I mean the riches that they have, and that goes for Kuwait and all of those nations over there. They are so rich, and here we are giving Iran money hand over fist. And Matt, we differ a lot on Israel, but I mean I have to bring into the attention again. This is a total psyop that's been going on for hundreds of years. But every now and again, like in World War I, they had to come up with the Sykes-Picot to stop the caliphate because in World War I, 1914, they called the caliphate. What happened after that? What was his name? The
The
spy.
guy is the guy that. Oh, you're talking about Lawrence of Arabia.
Yes, yes. Lawrence of Arabia went in, brought people in with him, and they studied the people, figured out how to split up the demographics there, split up the people to keep them fighting. That split up the caliphate. You then had Iran, which was Persia, and Turkey shortly after that. The Young Turks started Turkey. And then what happened after that? After World War II, they put in place the Jewish state of Israel. What did that do? That kept them fighting. It kept them separate. It kept the Sunni Shia divide. And even more so, it put Jews right in the hotbed of Muslims. So it kept them focused on fighting each other and fighting the Jews there in the Middle East, and it kept the spread of Islam. Now, it was horrible that we took that Palestinian land, or not we, but they took that Palestinian land and gave it to Israel. It's a horrible thing, but when you look at why it happened and how it turned out, did it stop the caliphate? What are they going to do now? I'm thinking they're looking at busting up Syria to possibly stop the caliphate. I don't know though.
I think it's, well, I don't know. I differ in my opinion. You've been looking at this a lot longer than I have, but I think it's used as a justification for war. I think it's cre- created for war, to create war, to
Well,
lead
that's a good point. It really is. Matt, are you there, or did you turn off your mic and start cussing me
No,
out?
no. I'm just thinking. And tomorrow I want to get into trying to figure out where everybody's at and what they're doing. All these militaries and stuff, and we have a couple tools to do that. But yeah, I'm just not liking. There's been so much movement everywhere that I really don't even know what's going on anymore. It's gonna be the news over the next couple of days. Is gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be in all the small stories, all the little discussions and everything like that. And all those small little things in the news are going to mean big things, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you seen anything about Turkey today and what they've done?
Only the UN saying that they were going to help them combat the UN always words everything very carefully. It's like it's not that combating ISIS. It's their efforts to It's just I know that it's just weird that as soon as Turkey leaves NATO or is leaving NATO, it's like here we are throwing them all this support when we all know that they're not doing it. Just like you were talking about Call of Duty, how that they said, oh well, Turkey took this town from ISIS. No, they didn't take the town from ISIS. ISIS left and Turkey walked in. It was a trade. They went from one spot and they went to another spot, and it was orchestrated while they were killing the Kurds. So It's all everything is deception. Nothing that we're hearing is even close to true. I'd say if you had to put a level of truth on most of what we're hearing about what's going on everywhere, it's like maybe 15% truth,
Yeah.
if that. I don't know. It's a slippery slope, but it's a lot of horse crap that we're reading through. So
It is. And you really got to use a little bit of common sense and a little bit of history and communicate with someone who has different eyes to look at it in a different way. You know what I mean? And maybe we'll find the truth.
Yeah. You guys want to go on a little bit more, or do you want to go ahead and because we have time.
I think we should stop this, and we got an idea of how to do this, and I'd like to start a show on Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What time would that be in California? What time would it be for you, Matt?
Oh, I just burnt out trying to do all that math about the money, but I think it's 4. Yeah.
Is that Pacific time?
Yeah.
Okay, 4 Pacific. And what would your time slot be, Emmy?
That would be 6 Central Time.
Okay. 7 Eastern, 6 Central, and 4 Pacific. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
And I'll send you reminders. I'll be working on that. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys dealing with this problem that I had trying to start this up. But do you guys have anything else to say before we end this?
We kind of scratched the surface on some of the things that we wanted to talk about on Sunday, but there's still a lot more to go into some of those things. Like we came up to some of the topics and then kind of hit the brakes and came back. So, gosh, we have some good things to talk about on Sunday, like stuff that we've found and has been reported on, in non-mainstream media, or like I guess it would be news articles and things like that just never caught and just kind of disappeared into the background. That are huge. They're like so huge. They should have been everywhere on the planet. They should have been like the biggest story of the year, and they're nothing. And they're all sources that are legitimate too. They're not just some blog somewhere. So I'm excited for Sunday because we've both been doing a lot of work on looking into this stuff, and sometimes you hit a dead end after hours and hours, and then other times you just like it flows and you're finding great stuff. So I look forward to sharing that on Sunday.
Yep, me too. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and I don't know how to turn this thing off. So I'm just
the stop button.
Let me see.
It's shaped like a stop sign.
No, it's not, Matt.
Sure it is.
Okay, guys. Good night.
I hope you found the stop button before you.
I end broadcast. Okay. This is Call of Duty Goddess signing off, and as always, I've got your 6.